In this video, I want to show you selection tools that are rooted in the ability to select colors and not just shapes. Oftentimes, when you have a stock photo or something that's been created just for the object, like the Godzilla image, you can they have white backgrounds because they presume that you want to do something with it. In this case, what I want to do is I want to get rid of the background of Godzilla and the head. Now, I'm going to zoom in. I've got my zoom tool selected. I clicked it a couple times to zoom in. What I want to do is I want to put Godzilla into the background, but I want to make sure that he is the background is deleted from him. So how can I do that? Well, I could use a lasso tool. I could use the selection brush tool to go in there very carefully and painstakingly paint all these pixels, right? But what I've noticed is that in these pixels, there's a stark difference between the color of this pixel and the color of the white pixel in the background. So Photoshop has created a variety of tools that live underneath the Magic Wand tool. And the Magic Wand tool is the tool I wanted to explore with you on this one. The Magic Wand tool allows you to select colors and not shapes. So if, for example, you're dealing with what's called a stock photo or a photo that's created so that you can edit it easily with a background that's monochromatic, it's easy to sort of drop the background out. Now, by default, the tolerance is 32. An anti-alias means it'll make a smoother, less jaggedy selection. And contiguous means that when you click in the area here with this Magic Wand tool, you're selecting all the colors that are the color that you're selecting, like white, within a tolerance of 32 brightness levels that are touching each other. The contiguous part means touching each other, okay? So what I'm going to do is, in this case, what I'd like to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click on the white. Now let me get my zoom tool and zoom in. Now you'll notice that it's not perfect. What it did was it included these gray pixels into the selection because when I have the Magic Wand tool selected, the tolerance is 32. In other words, it's fairly tolerant, but not super tolerant. And it'll just get rid of a lot of the extraneous stuff that allows that to be a bright selection, which is fine with me for now. I'm going to get my zoom tool again. I'm going to press the Option key, and you'll notice that as I press the Option key, the zoom tool icon turns into a minus, and that allows me to zoom in and zoom out. And I can zoom in this way. Now that I have this selected, I'm going to press my space bar, and I'm going to scooch this up a little bit. And now I'll show you what happens. If I press delete, now you'll see that I have most of the white deleted, but these pieces of white in here somehow were not selected. Why? Because when I was in my Magic Wand tool, I had contiguous checked. If I didn't have contiguous checked, it might have selected all the colors of white that are in here, but unfortunately that might also mean it selects some of the teeth, which I don't want to happen. So now what I can do is I can select this little area and I can click delete. I can click on this little area and I can click delete. These little pop-ups are just for your help. They kind of get in the way after a while once you become a little bit more fluent in Photoshop. Now in this case, what I tried to do was select that little bit in there, but what it ended up doing was selecting the gray. I definitely don't want to do that. If I press delete, you'll notice my Godzilla goes away. If I'm going to press Command D or deselect. I'll get my zooming tool. I'll zoom in so that I can see that pixel. That way, when I go back to my Magic Wand tool, I can click on it, boop, and I can delete that part too. Whoops, I don't want a generative fill, and so I'm going to hide that. All right. And that's how you can use the Magic Wand tool to select different colors in your image that are contiguous. Now, if I did it non-contiguous, what would happen is I would start getting a lot of like his teeth being deleted, his eyeballs, some of his highlights and stuff. So that's just one of the things. The higher the number in the tolerance, the more tolerant. The lower the number, the more picky it's going to be about colors. Okay? And that's the Magic Wand tool.